Recommendations from Mayor of the document. I'd like to see the 28 recommendations, because I haven't seen that published. Robert, I bet there's not many good ideas. They're looking for good ideas from us.
Can I make one suggestion though?
Yeah.
After the job's been done, don't go and make a video. Send what you just
I
put
was
in
just
there.
thinking that actually.
Send what you put in there.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
Including
what
the flare?
want, isn't it?
Okay.
And you can put all this bullshit, if you don't want me saying, on a film, and we can all stand there and act. You've heard the arts come out of what people want at this time.
My disappointment tonight, if there is a downside, is I would like more of a commitment from the tradespeople in the town.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
If, obviously we arranged this meeting at relatively short notice, so let's not beat up the businesses too much. I know you're all here, and I know there was plenty of coverage on burnhamonsea.com, but ultimately, you know, we only set this date 6 days ago, so maybe that is our fault. So I don't want to beat up the businesses. What I do agree with is your suggestion that we've got to find a way of making sure that they, to a great extent, are on board in concept, if not anything else.
They've got to buy into this.
Well, we've got to sell it to the public, we've got to sell it to the businesses as well, everybody.
Well, and okay then, so type up the concept based on the film and what you said. You do one half of the high street, I'll do the other half. And
Right, there's three of you then.
Yeah.
Right, done.
Do Baker
Okay.
Road as well.
Yeah.
Somebody else
And
does.
he's
Right.
Baker
going
Road.
to tell them what our
What
vision
I
is.
also,
and that's what they-
it's all right saying
Mr.
we'd
Lloyd
like,
and Helen.
we'd like the High Street opened and all that with things going on, but surely we also got the backing of the council to go along with it and not put obstacles in the way.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if
Yeah.
we, well, all three councillors, and you know, and I think that probably the one that probably would put obstacles is Sedgemoor, because they seem to be a council that don't want to give and take. And I think the council, Burnham Council, got to back this as well as having the people around the table to do it.
We are very fortunate that we have councillors from all three local authorities around this table.
Peter, and Peter.
Yeah, but you don't want obstacles put your way, do you?
No,
The
but
suggestion about removing
bylaws.
is-
Ultimately, we
yeah,
don't need to
the
get
way-
the bylaws removed by the 30th of March.
Yeah.
What we
Same
need
with
to say is that that is
recommendations.
part of our
Yeah.
what
a
we want
review
to
of
have
the
happened, and
Yeah.
a review of bylaws and
Bylaws on the beach are not a problem. I've already been speaking to Sedgemoor on it, and I could do that tomorrow if I
well,
wanted to.
yeah, but if we can
That's
formalise
not
it as part of our bid, then that will help.
Yeah.
Helen.
There are two things that occur in terms of who we've got here. People that are missing, that are really important, are those involved with the caravan parks and the holiday sites, because they're trying to give a whole experience. They don't really want their visitors to go off-site.
Yeah.
So if you want if you want people in the town, getting those people on your side and demonstrating to them the benefit of a better experience from the visitor would be, I would imagine, a very, very important thing to be doing. So it might be worth directly approaching those companies. If you won't get them all
I
on
deal
board,
with
but
these
then-
people daily.
Ian,
I-
can I?
my first response was to say, rubbish, but she's exactly right.
Yeah.
Get them on side,
Yeah.
and they are out for themselves.
Yeah, so
But what we've got to do is show them that by the town benefiting will benefit them, and that's what we've got to do. And we've got to work on it. Because you're exactly right.
If you have the contacts with Haven and the rest of them, Ian, is that something you can look into for me?
Yeah, not in this short period. I haven't.
Right.
But you can share your contacts with someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, I can give contacts to anybody who wants contacts.
And Helen, the secondary.
The second thing is promoting loyalty within local residents. And I know you looked at loyalty cards before, and I know how horribly that all worked. But there are cheaper ways of doing this. I've spent a little bit of time looking at it, and it's maybe something to think about, because it's worked very well.
I love this
Elsewhere.
idea. Money, keeping your own town money, keeping it in the town.
The Bristol pound, that kind of thing.
But a loyalty
But something
scheme.
along that
It
line.
doesn't have to be the loyalty cards, though I know they've worked very well elsewhere, and there are cheaper ways.
Well, if we can just say in broadest possible terms,
Yeah.
looking into ways to engender customer loyalty.
Yes.
We don't at the moment have to say anything more than that. Can I say one more thing on you said the holiday parks. What about our young people? how are we representing them? How are we delivering a high street for tomorrow's consumers?
Well, we need to ask them, yeah.
Yeah.
Dream scheme's an automatic way to, and an easy way, but I think we need to look at the kind of harder ways as well, and that would be by using King Alfred's and using their, whatever they currently call the person who kind of does the nice stuff with kids that isn't necessarily the teaching stuff, and ask them. No, but you know, getting in touch with them and using them as a portal to get information in and out.
Can I point out that we're not just talking about, when you speak about our high street for young people and provision for young people, I hope you're not just talking about our shopping experience, but their future employment.
I'm talking about all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying that none. I mean, I don't know anybody's circumstances around this table, but I don't have any kids, you know, and I'm just thinking, well, how on earth are we actually listening to them? You know, we need everybody. You know, we've got a good. If you look at the demographic round this table, we probably cover 20s through to 60, 75. Thank you. So we cover 20 through to 75. But what about below that? Okay, above that you could say, but.
I heard about an innovative scheme recently, which is incentivising apprenticeships. I know that a lot of the high streets struggle with manning our shops, and that's maybe why we struggle with opening times and opening late in the evening and on Sundays, dare I say.
And Wednesday afternoons.
And taking on an apprentice is a huge deal. It takes a lot of time if you're a sole trader or whatever. It's hard. We've seen apprentices kind of come and go. But maybe that's something that the town council could look at, offering an incentive to small traders to take on an apprentice and backing that the training. Isn't the whole possibility
Okay. Well, perhaps we can. I think
there's a massive push on
I think that if you went round the retail businesses, I can't comment for any others, and said how many of you have got an apprentice or are considering an apprentice, I think the answer would be, well, I was going to say fingers of one hand. Now that feeds into national issues, and if you're looking at, you know, training and the skills agenda. Thinking of Western College, I had a flyer about apprentices the other day. Then obviously that's possibly something we can develop.
As for the youth, not something that we've done before this bid, but for taking the bid on, we've got 3 youth workers in Byres, and every few weeks I sign off their Duke of Edinburgh things to say what they've done. They're helping me in this world record attempts, doing part of the organising of that as well. They're doing all the leaflets and the posters. But they're actually part of their Duke of Edinburgh. They get awards through doing things in the community. They've also got is it Asdan or something like that? Something like this. Again, they have, part of that is they have to do so much in the community. Well, this fits the bill, not in this short period, but in a longer term. But they.
Well, we can put it in.
Well, we don't approach children. This is my point on it. We don't approach the youth. The youth approach the youth. Yeah?
Yes.
Because we can go there and say, well, what do you want? And they can say X, Y, Z. We don't.
Skate park.
Yeah.
Certainly at the moment, the current government budget, if you look at this big society thing, if you can get in something about youth or diversity or the disabilities, they are all good points to get.
But with these courses, with all these things that they're doing in the schools anyway, they can do that as part of that. And it's youth on youth. And that's where you'll get the real reaction from them. And not this stuff that they think we want to hear. Which isn't no good.
Okay, so has everybody had enough chance to communicate their vision? Because I'm conscious it's 8 o'clock and we're probably all
I've got
thinking...
just one very small vision.
Go for it.
The market idea I think is absolutely fantastic for Burnham, but not just a market that you can go and buy any old tap that you can buy in Lidl's or what have you, but really focus in on a set area, crafts, encourage youngsters, get the youngsters in on very special terms, so they're not losing out, paying rent on an idea that they might not know.
Shopkeepers of the future.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that way it keeps gives people more to do when they come for their day out. They're going to hopefully then go into the shops that are there permanently, and everybody gains.
So I want to say something right at the very end, Alex.
Oh, right.
If you
Okay,
don't mind.
so
Thanks.
that's fair enough. So, according to my agenda, which I typed, so I will claim it as my own. I think tonight we have got some ideas on vision and what we'd like to do to deliver the vision, and I think from what I'm hearing, there is the motivation and the enthusiasm to give it a go. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm seeing lots of nods. Am I seeing anyone doing that?
Why don't you put it to the vote?
Well, right, thank you very much. So, do we agree that we have the basis of giving it a go?
Yes.
All those in favour?
The basis of giving it a go.
Okay. And all those against? Right, so everybody in the room, that's passed, that's carried. So, therefore, Bev has pointed out that we have 7 sections of 300 words, plus a film. So, we need to agree a division of labour and timescales of how we're going to write those words, film that bid, film that film, video that, whatever, and make that film, thank you, and then to sort of pull it all together and